Okay, tonight I'm using my oldest camera, the one that has what I call artifacts in it, which is something that got into the workings of the camera. And so I have these little spots that are very unusual because they look like some of the things that are in Orbs. But nevertheless, they appear to be stuck in my camera somehow. And this camera will catch a different spectrum of the light than my other cameras get. Well, I'm just holding it in place and seeing the purple do a little flashiness there. And the purple lately has been having a little matte finish to it. See how the rays of the light just shoot out streams of colors of light? Now with this camera also is a fault it has of going little and big on its own without my wanting it to, because I cannot control the focus when it's in its movie mode. So I'm going to just hope it will get big so you can see. This is also the camera that shows me a little light creature I call Harry, and you'll probably see him tonight. Now I'm going to show you. I'll move it around. See, I'm moving the camera and the piece of glass around in this area that is around the light source. And you see how the photon comes out of the light, goes back in. Now I will take it out where the orbs get rounder. At first they're going to look pentagon shaped, and some people's cameras make them at first look hexagon shaped. I think that depends on the aperture of the camera, whatever that is. I'm seeing Harry, I think, come by here. I have people that look at my videos that have gotten kind of fond of Harry. There he was. Come back, Harry. There's people want to see you. Oh well, he'll be back. He always comes. And this camera shows a little different kind of looking things that are in the light. But I have to put up with its finicky way of getting small and getting big and all that sort of thing. Nevertheless, I love this camera the most. It's the one I first started seeing the light with. When I had prayed that I would be able to show what my eyes were seeing in a way that other people could see it too. This was a camera I had at that time, the only one that I had. I'm just going to be quiet right now and just look around. This is the same grouping of marbles that are put together with hot glue that I used in the video I made yesterday. But you see, it shows not as much color, but a whole lot more stuff. Now it's going small, big. I just have to let it have its way. Small again. I am not touching the focus. I don't even begin to try, because that messes it up worse when I try to use the focus on this. I'm always running into these dark spots. Harry, you just come in a little bit and then get out. We didn't get a chance to really see you. Come back, Harry. You know you love to be photographed. You're being really elusive tonight. This camera also puts two little eye holes in every orb. They're pretty much in the same place. A little past the middle and to the lower right side. Little eye holes. You can see them real plainly in this one here. Every single one will have those little eye holes. Harry, there you are. Well, I'm glad you stayed this time. You're looking a little frazzled. You must be busy. I see there's another dark spot. And it's a rather large one. I kind of move around where I can get more of it into this orb and travel about looking at it. It's not completely dark. It's got a little whitish part to it. But now let me move one orb over and it's not there, but it's in that one. This is strangeness that is unexplainable. At this time, it's unexplainable. Maybe someday we will understand this. Sometimes I like to think of it as matter in solution. It's like, I think I read somewhere that spirit is matter speeded up and flesh is matter slowed down. But spirit is still, God is stillness. But when you think of it like this, it's like, well, yes, God is stillness. But what if God is so fast that he appears to be stillness because he's everywhere at the same time? He moves just that fast. Then that would be completely still. He occupies all of empty space. And since our bodies are mostly empty space, God's in us. And in our enemy. That's why we should love our enemy. Love everyone. Bless them even if they're out to kill you or to destroy your land or whatever, because they will never, never change if you play their game of hate and fear. That's what our country is doing. They want to arm to the hilt a lot of Christians, even, who should be for peace or for war. And I fault them on that, because of all people they should be trusting that God will take care of us, not that we have to arm ourselves with even more bombs and stuff like that. Hello, Harry. I move out some from the light, because sometimes when I go out further from the light, actually get more color into the orb. And you can see some spots that say little tube like spot up there at the top that stays in the same place. That's one of my artifacts. I have several. Their numbers grow, and I used to have some I don't have anymore. So some of them have disappeared. So they are strange things, these artifacts. They constantly amaze me. Move around a little bit. There is a smorgasbord of color combinations and patternings and little things that seem to inhabit the light. I have noticed that in pictures taken in outer space, there seems to be little space creatures that are flying around like insects in space. I mean, they fly kind of haphazard, like they're, what we would consider the flight pattern of an insect. There's so much that we are going to discover, and we're going to discover that we haven't had all the answers for sure, and we've had some wrong ones that we thought were right, and that the most odd things that we thought could never be true are actually things that if you tell people about, they think you're a nut. And rightly so, because I would have thought it myself a few years back when I didn't know what I know now. It's easy to understand why people get skeptical, because, we have Hollywood that can fake anything. And we know that that's easy to do with their ability to make things look a certain way. And so people don't like to be fooled, so they become skeptical about everything. And when you show them the proof, they think, well, you're just really clever and you found a way to fool me again. And so they don't want to believe. Especially they don't want to believe if it changes some of their doctrinal beliefs. Some people are so indoctrinated, they are going to stay in their box forever until it gets too uncomfortable in there. And they have to come out and realize that they don't know everything about salvation and the devil and stuff like that, and heaven. I've read in the Bible that God said, if you make your bed in hell, even there I am there. If you take the wings of the sun and be across the world, even there I am. Something to that effect. But if there were a hell, God's there. His consciousness would be there in the beings that are there. And I don't believe in hell, except the kind that we make of our lives right here and now in this world. We could make of our lives a hell. And then someone has to come and rescue us from it by turning us to truth. But please don't write me and say, the truth is Jesus is the only way. Because that is such an old, tired thing for Christians to say. And if they would just think about it, it sure would put billions of people in hell if that was true. They should not want it to even be true. Okay, I'm getting close to 15 minutes, and this won't take if I go too long, so I'm ending this right here.